next one. Alexander Volkanovski versus Brian Ortega for the featherweight belt.
The main event.
The main event. I'm going to start with Brian Ortega in this. 4-1 in his last 5. Coming off that huge one-sided victory versus the Korean Zombie. 4 out of his last 5 fights have been performance of the night or fight of the night. He has a -2 striking differential.
But that's because of what Max Holloway did to him.
At 30% accuracy, but that's because, exactly, Dan, of what Max Holloway did to him.
Max Holloway was not nice.
He was nice. He actually picked up his arm during the fight and told him to put it up to block. Do you remember that?
Dude, that 4th round in that fight was one of the most brutal rounds I've ever seen.
Yeah, and even Dana White was like, get this guy to the hospital right now. No, nothing in between. Get this guy to the hospital. Yeah, Holloway just obliterated Ortega. Ortega averages 0.8 takedowns a fight at 21% accuracy, 56% takedown defense. That low number, the 56% takedown defense. He does pull guard a lot, which is attributed to that number. But I like most of the time giving up position like that, it makes it tougher for you to win the fight. And Ortega does do that often because he's just well versed on the ground. He wants to take the fight to the ground, uses BJJ. But that doesn't work out for you when you're like when you're in a 5-round fight. Like, you don't want to give up position.
Once, ever.
What?
Lost once in his entire career. I'll just say that.
Yes, both guys. And he's going to be taking on Alex Volkanovski, 9-0 UFC record. This is going to be his 3rd time defending the title. He's coming off 2 razor-thin fights against Max Holloway. Me and actually Dan were talking before this. I was like, I think Holloway won the 2nd fight, and Dan's like, oh, really? I think Holloway won the first. Like,
I said Holloway won the second
fight. Yeah, I have a vice versa. But both fights, like, razor thin. And Max Holloway, he is, in my opinion, the 145 GOAT. And he's gonna have that title back, but that's a different video. Volkanovski has a plus 2.7 striking differential at 55% accuracy, 60% striking defense, also 2 takedowns per fight, 34% accuracy, and 72% takedown defense. I think that Volk lost that fight, like I said with Dan, against the best 145er of all time. And he
was still only 29, by the way.
Yeah, he's made adjustments. He's improved. He was still young, and being able to beat the best 145er of all time in Max Holloway is just, it's a big deal. The fact that he did it twice, even though I don't agree with that, like the fact that he did it twice, that is, in years from now, we're going to look back on that and be like, wow, that was crazy. I
truly believe that Max Holloway won the 2nd fight.
Yeah, we both are in agreement that he went 1-1 in those fights. But Ortega has looked the best he's ever looked in his last time out against the Korean Zombie. But I was also saying this to Dan, the Korean Zombie's fight style is throw caution to the wind, take damage, but just be able to outlive your opponent and like beat the shit out of this guy and take the win. And Ortega just fought smart. He didn't like give in, like he fought very well. But Ortega is not going to find that style in the Korean Zombie. Like the Korean Zombies in Volk. Volk is a lot smarter when it comes to taking damage like that. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, Dan, Ortega has looked great, but Volk is just a different kind of animal. I think he'll be able to find the win here. But this is going to be a very competitive fight for sure. But it's just hard not to pick against the champ in Alex Volkanovski.
You see, well, I'm going to choose against the champ, Volkanovski. Now, everybody says, like what you said with the Chan Sung Jung fight, I think that was T-City 2.0.
It was on a 1-fight sample scale, Dan, though.
Yeah, but it was almost 2 years. It was 2 years removed from the Max Holloway beating. And now this fight is almost 3 years removed from the Max Holloway beating. He has had a lot of time to improve adjustments and become better. He has great wins in his career. Like if you look at it, he knocked out Frankie Edgar. He was the first man to do it. Choked out, he has that patented guillotine choke. Choked out Cub Swanson, Hanato Moicano, TKO Clay Guida, triangle choke to Diego Brandao, beat Thiago Tavares. Like this guy's ground game is next level, and his striking against Chan Sung Jung was also just out of this fucking world good. Like I was blown away because I was like, going into that fight, I had the Korean Zombie, and that just didn't happen. The Korean Zombie recently fought Dan Ige and fought smarter and got the takedowns and got the win. But I don't to make your point. Something to back up your point is that the Korean Zombie was taking down Dan Ige because he didn't want to stand up with him.
Right.
So maybe the Korean Zombie I see fall, like starting to, like he's like gonna start to descend.
You think so?
Yeah. It sucks to say because he did, like, the Korean Zombie left in the middle of his career to serve in the military in South Korea, which is
it's mandatory for them to do it for like 5 years.
Yeah. So he didn't fight between 2013 and then he came back in 2017 and got a win. And then he had maybe the greatest fight of all time against Yair Rodriguez, where he got knocked out.
He was beating Yair, I think. He was about to take the dub in that fight before he got the elbow to the chin.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm straying off topic. I love you, Korean Zombie. But T-City looked incredible against him. Just absolutely incredible. Like it wasn't even like it wasn't like it was 2.0. It was version 2.0 of Brian Ortega. We saw the fighter that he could be, and I have no doubts that he's gotten better since then. And with the Ultimate Fighter and everything going on to help hype this fight, this is the biggest fight of his career right now. Max Holloway, that was a huge opportunity, and he got destroyed. Like He genuinely got beat up. At that time, the worst anybody was ever beat up for 4 rounds.
Right.
Max Holloway literally set the record in 4 rounds for like significant strikes landed. So he beat the shit out of Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega has persevered and fought beyond that,
For sure.
So I got Ortega. I'm gonna ride with the T-City underdog, slight underdog at that. Think about it, like Volkanovski's not gonna catch Ortega in any choke or anything,
No, nothing like that.
Ortega could catch Volkanovski in one.
Yeah,
I mean, chances are low. I see this fight staying on the feet.
Yeah, he's got the submission advantage, but I do see Volkanovski getting some takedowns in there. So you never know. Like, there's going to be submission game is going to be involved. So, but I think Volkanovski knows what to do.
We will see.
We will see. We're disagreeing on this one. I'm going Volkanovski. Dan's going Ortega, and that's it.
That is it.
That is it. This is No Brainer MMA signing off.